gefallen ist. Krank. Verwirkst die eng Imbalance da. Was siehst du?
Edel alles. Den Stimme auch du.
Also sind Schleiferen.
Ja, und den Stimme mehr die noch.
Nice. Let's fucking go, guys.
So ein Körpers.
I needed to fix some things.
Der geht bestimmt schon
Okay,
nicht so
great.
stumm gemalt.
Als nicht so hart, meine Stimme oder so.
Yes.
Was heißt das jetzt?
Nee, ist nicht so hart. Meine Stimme, also, das ist einfach immer viel mich spät, komischerweise.
Ja, weil du den Stream lässt, also nicht Discord wahrscheinlich. Okay, we are back live. Okay, great. Nice. Let's go.
Erlebe den faszinierendsten Wintertraum aller.
So, I can start from the beginning now. Okay, does it work now? Great. That's good. Timeout now. You can. Oh shit. So viel zu hart, man. Die Stimme ist viel zu hart. Peter. Okay. Let me know if the sound is better right now. Oh. I really thought it would break the lows, and then we had a break of structure back again in the 3 minute. And then I had some calls, people calling me, and I didn't pay attention, so we got stopped out break even. But now the market shows strength to the upside, so maybe we need to reconsider the bias. And let's see where it goes, because when now it would break certain structures, we can be sure that the market wants to go higher again, maybe to close some fair value gaps or something. And we need to see. This price action is very choppy. It's very hard to make money or to be certain. So we had the all-time high for gold, which we hit in 2020, got broken just yesterday or 2 days in the night, during the night Asia session. And the morning it pumped above the highs, it took all the liquidity from the previous highs and actually made a new all-time high, came directly back down, which I consider more or less normal. I mean, the move was very, very aggressive, but this correction was needed. So now we basically shook out all the sellers that were placed around the highs, and they all got stopped out. So now the market is rebalancing, and we are waiting for the right moves to take action on. So on the 4-hour chart, I would say we need at least a break of these highs here plus a close of that imbalance to see further up move. If we can't break this one, we don't need to think about a long entries or to be bullish for the moment, because we had this crazy up move since 2 or 3 months, or let's say 2 months, I don't know exactly the day. It was the 5th October we bottomed out and we just pump. I mean, we know, all of us know why this pump happened. It's because of the let's say problems that are out in the world. People are scared to hold currency, so they find, let's say, a safe haven to put their money into. And we don't talk about regular and normal people, we talk about investors and rich people that want to protect their capital. So this is what we see in the charts right now. It is a move like this one here, but let's say the price action was a lot like the break of these low would have meant like a sharp decline to maybe even 16,650. So this was a very important level to hold, and it did. So the problem with this move was like we waited basically to catch the move here, but we didn't really got the opportunity to have a nice setup that gives us a high conviction that the market is going where we want it to go. So we missed a lot of these pumps. And it basically just continued to go back up with small pumps and corrections. So here in this move you could have made some bread. Then this one here, I just wanted it to come a little bit lower, and then it just pumped extremely hard. Here the same thing, we were long, we got stopped out, and it just absolutely crushed. So sometimes in volatile moments like that, it is very important to understand that you need to be cautious with your stops, because your trade can be great, or where you think the market is going can be right, but we all know that analyzing or predicting a price move is not actually the same thing than capitalizing on it. So that was for gold. I mean, what can we do? We need to see it push above these highs here, and then we can reconsider finding fair value gaps to continue the move, because once we break that, we have a big correction to go for, which in my opinion will happen once we clearly break that level. But until then, we cannot really say something about it, because it already went up high, it already did an all-time high, it came back down. So the major move is already played. So now it's to find out, where do the big players want to position themselves for the next 365 or 720 days, because gold now broke the high. So now we need to find out where in the chart is it interesting for the banks, for the big people to accumulate more gold for the bull run. Okay, so there are a few levels. For now, it's very hard to say, because we don't really have a clear break of structure yet, but I believe it would not be impossible to break this low we created at 2010 to go retest back the 2000 level, because it's a psychological level that people look for. So this is a very important level to see if it holds the level or not. If now we pump back up, you just need to be careful, because here are also some fair value gaps where the price just dumped very hard and never gave the people an opportunity to get into the market, to get some skin in. So these are usually levels where big players were interested in putting big chunks of money in, a lot of volatility. So that means that there is somewhere there is a price where people didn't even trade that price because it fell so quickly. So this is named fair value gaps, and we want to find fair value gaps in accordance with some other confirmations to know when it's interesting to buy or sell something. Okay, so in this case I'm more bearish on gold for the short term than bullish, because we had aggressive when it has an idea of where it wants to go. So that's why today I basically let it run tomorrow. I will not trade normally, because there are a lot of events coming, and these events are very dangerous when you expose. They are usually meant to stop out the longs and the shorts before they make their move. So it's basically very hard news to see what the market really wants to do, because maybe let's say gold here, we have news tomorrow on in the US that pumps gold the second it comes out, but let's say it's a bad news for the dollar, but the dollar already corrected a bunch in the last 2-3 weeks, so it maybe doesn't have the impact we think it has. So the gold will pump and directly dump, and if you have the key levels on the chart, you can actually realize, okay, we did pump up for 50, 60, 100 pip move, but we came back down and break it. And yeah, for now we have this break of this trend line, but this actually means nothing. You could have tried to long it to this level, but nothing says that we will reach that level, because we have some order blocks just under that where it could react. So we really need to see the market try to do something and fail or prevail. So this defines which way we're going to place ourselves in the market. For example, I can give you an example. Yes, yesterday or 2 days ago, I wanted to long the Euro USD, okay? And because the minority, like the sentiment of the market was, everybody was short on Euro USD. So what I tend to do is I try to go against the majority. So which are the minority in the market? Often the minority, if they are present, the minority always are the, let's say, the people with the liquidity, like the banks, the central banks, the big institutions. These try to create liquidity in the market to grab it, because they have too much money to just enter the market. It would crash or pump the market too hard, and they would have an average dollar cost averaging price which would not be in their favor. So what do banks and institutions need to bring the market where they want it to go? They need to get an entry. And how do they get their entries? And this is, by the way, for all the markets, for the crypto markets, for every market. For them to have big positions or to open big position in a market which is not volatile at the moment, let's say it like that, they need to create some exit liquidity. They need to create some, let's say we go long, or they have the idea to go long, so they need to bring shorts in. They need to bring as much people short as possible, so they need to make them believe that the market is going short, so the shorts come in. The more shorts come in, the more volume and liquidity is there for them to place their orders and to not move the market as hard as it would be if the liquidity wasn't there. Okay, so that is the first thing I look in a chart. Where are big entries lying at? Where are their stops? Where could be a fair value gap according to, let's say, I always remember a guy telling me just try to put your entry where usually you set your stop loss. So if you are a person that often gets stopped out in a market where actually the market afterwards does what you said or what you predicted, just try to realize that before a market makes a move, it's gonna take the liquidity out that's in the market. So usually it's you are usually the exit liquidity for the institutions. So you need to realize which highs are interesting for them, which highs are there with a lot of short or long positions to get taken out before the market reverses. And this is usually now where I try to find my entries and my setups. So that's for me, it's a good approach. Sometimes you wait for something to not happen, but it's better for you to not happen and stay cash than get skin in the game and absolutely wrecked. So that's my first rule. Yeah, and as you see, what I wanted to say actually is the minority was long on Euro USD, but it started to shift. So at the beginning, news pump up here, where I don't know on which news it was. I think it was CPI in the US, and it extremely pumped. So on the same side, we have the Dixie, which is the dollar index, that showed us a big gap to the downside. So what I'm looking for now is actually what is the dollar index doing. If the dollar index wants to close this gap here on the right side of the chart, if the dollar index wants to close this gap, which usually is closed or is valid, the close is valid once you let's say balanced out this imbalance. So this is usually at 50% of the whole imbalance, of the whole fair value gap, which is interesting for new shorts in this manner to come in and go back down. So we have a huge level here to accomplish before we really need to think about shorts again, because we have now this high here. They tried yesterday to sweep that high, it rejected, but it doesn't mean that we cannot push back up here. We just need one news. We have multiple US news today, so this could actually pump the dollar to the imbalance. Once we are in this imbalance and we close at least 50% of that imbalance, you can think about going short on the dollar again. So what is extremely important in this case is because it's a 4-hour chart and it's an extremely big imbalance. So a big imbalance brings volatility and brings stops. So in that case, let's say you would say, in that case, I go short at 50% of the imbalance and I put my stops over the highs. So that would mean you have a swing trade. So you are very long in the trade. You need to look if you want to pay commissions with your broker and stuff. So I'm more the intraday trader. I try to find big imbalances, smaller imbalances with liquidity sweeps. So this is after, but for now the interesting part is that imbalance, because we have that imbalance in the Euro USD as well here on the left. Wicks are always a sign of liquidity. People dumped the market to a certain point and bought it up very fast. So all these people going long here and here were still in the market, okay? Or there were still positions in the market. So the market tends to always grab this liquidity, which it did, and I got stopped out here. So I got stopped out here, but I hit take profit on this one. So basically on these two trades I'm in profit. So now I'm waiting for a next trade. For now I have this setup right here, but this is from yesterday and I don't really know if today I want to take it. I need to see what volume and what price action the market is giving me. So here is a big order block. This is named an order block, Okay, this is usually before market dumps or pumps very hard. You have the candle just before that is the reverse candle of the move. Okay, and we say that the block, like the candle itself, the open and the close of the candle is an order block. So usually you can also view that as an let's say an fair value gap, but it's named an order block. So in that block, in that particular price space, there was a lot of volume, and even if there was a lot of long volume, the shorts just waited for the liquidity to hit the market to push them down. And this is what I actually tried to explain you just before. So big institutions need liquidity to open positions, and this is what happens. If you are on lower time frames, it's very hard to really grasp how high a move can go before it reverses to itself. Look at this price action. People that trade on 3-minute time frames or something, they just didn't have the chance to capitalize on these moves other than going short when it hit the top, but it could at every moment break the highs and just continue. So this was a very choppy moment, very unpredictable moment, and it was very hard to know where the market is going. Okay, so that's why I didn't touch it yesterday. And if I look, it was around New York Open that this whole bullshit started. Okay, so it's always the US that is making a choppy market, and it's always the dollar that is trying to manipulate the people. So really focus on the dollar to see what the market wants to do, because usually sometimes I had like it was an United States news coming out, and then the Euro GBP just dumped or pumped like for no reason. So the European markets, Asia markets, and all the markets around, let's say the New York market, New York session, basically like London is often liquidity, and let's say we start to create momentum or create the low and the high of the day. So usually Asia is a consolidation, so it goes sideways. Not always, but in most cases, Asia is more or less a consolidation. And then you have an Asia high, Asia low. So why I say London is often the low of the day is because before they make a move, they try to stop out Asian highs or Asian lows. They go take the liquidity from the people that had a good entry in the Asia session. So once these lows are swept, there are two questions. Is it holding the lows and going further, or is it reversing back to the upside? So when you have the confirmation that it is reversing back to the upside in a bias of a long trade, you can actually trade that move, because once one of the Asian high and low is broken, and you don't have major news pushing it or manipulating the market during the day, there is a high chance it's going to go to the opposite side. And then New York session often is a retracement of the London session and a continuation of the London session. So this is what I try to anticipate every day, to see what is the market doing in London. Are there particular interesting levels which need to be broken or something for us to be interested in a trade? And then often my positions, I place them, let's say between 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, for 16 p.m. 6 p.m., which is in our time 16, and then play it out till the evening, because you still have until 10 o'clock until the market closes, or 9 o'clock. So you still have like a few hours where your trade can play well. And if you don't enter too early, the move where it's going to go in these few hours are or against you or with you. So that's what I realized in the last 1-2 months. that it's often better to wait for the real confirmation and trade a smaller part of the market than trying to predict the reversal move in the market. So that helped me a lot to understand price action even further. And yes, I see there are a few people watching. Do you have any questions? Do you want me to analyze one of your favorite coins or something? Where can I help you? Let me know. I'm here for this. I'm also usually not on my MacBook, but yeah, today I am on my MacBook, and I just realized that it is very hard for me to move the mouse correctly as I'm used to. But we're gonna get it. Du kannst mir auch Coins oder so interagieren oder irgendetwas. Let's see what XRP is doing. XRP. It's struggling to break these highs here, but I'm more or less convinced if Bitcoin doesn't crash for now that there's a big chance we can break these highs. And once we break these highs, I believe the next target is 68 cents. And above these 68 cents is basically just liquidity. That means that if the whole market doesn't fail, we could see an interesting pump coming here. We have this liquidity all to 75 cents. After these 75 cents, we have another liquidity grab we could go for. So, what we don't want to see is a break of 57 cents. If we break 57 cents, we can come much lower. So like, let's say 50 cents, we can come back to 50 cents. So that would not be in my favor. So what I like to see, or what I like to believe, is that this was the news pump of the SEC losing against Ripple in the main things like the SEC couldn't go after all the retail traders that bought XRP, and it would be an unregistered security, because everybody that bought XRP basically didn't even know from who they bought that XRP. It was on exchanges, it was decentralized, or let's say DeFi, you bought it on the ledger, or you bought it on XAM or somewhere. So you didn't actually know where you bought your XRP, which declares it not a security. So but then they said yes, but Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen sold under the name of Ripple XRP to institutions. So in that case, it would be an unregistered security. But as we know now, and as we know since the beginning, it was all fraud. And we are just waiting for the mass adoption to hit the market. Now you have Pepe, you have all these bullshit trash tokens that are pumping like crazy for no reason, just because people are FOMOing because Bitcoin is pumping. But I always try to remind myself of the truth and where this markets and this world is going to. I mean, it's great to make degen plays and make a lot of money, a lot of access in the first third of the bull run. It's okay. But I always try to understand the pump, because a lot of people capitalize on pumps, but they don't understand the pumps. Okay? And if you don't understand the pump, where do you want to take profit? If you see your fucking portfolio going up and up and up, you are not going to take profit. Like yesterday, I saw Crypto Banter saying everyone is going to make money in the market, but just like 5 to 3% of the whole market that made money will actually take out money. So the biggest thing you need to be aware of is there is a difference between making money and taking out money. You win when you take out money of the market, not if you have unrealized gains. This is something I needed to learn the hard way, because I multiple times made 6 figures in this market, and the market always took it away from me. Okay, so one thing I have learned: if you once had something and you lose it, it's very, 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 very hard. Emotionally, it's so hard that a lot of people never will sustain that situation, and they will give up, or they will lose everything. So it's very important to understand that. When it's the most uncomfortable to buy, you need to buy. If it's the most uncomfortable to sell, you need to sell. Okay, and that's the thing you need to remind yourself in this bull run. If you don't do this, you get wrecked. Okay, no matter how the coins are pumping, which coins are pumping, there are multiple narratives for this bull run. I can name 3. One is ISO, all the protocols that are going to go live for the financial system. This is one narrative. The second narrative is crypto gaming. Because for now, there are no real games in the space. This is all like, let's say, it's dust, it's smoke, there is nothing, okay? These are all gaming developer platforms, but there is no mass adoption, there is no momentum in any kind of game related to crypto. So what needs to happen, for me personally, is we need 1 to 3 great game developing platforms. For example, Vulcan Forged or Gala Games or something else that needs to prevail in that market and actually create games that people use. This would bring a huge catalyst for the whole narrative of metaverse gaming and play to earn and stuff, okay? Then AI, obviously, everyone knows it. AI is very important. The narrative is very strong on AI, which was introduced by ChatGPT. This is where the narrative started, and people actually realized that today you don't need any skill, you just need AI. Okay, so think about AI, metaverse, and I believe there will be a narrative at the end of the bull run coming back, and that would be DeFi, because for now people make money in the crypto, but they don't actually use crypto for what it was created for. Okay, crypto was created to get rid of a middleman, to get rid of centralization, to get rid of people that can freeze your accounts. And all the coins you are buying, guys, have public keys where the owners and founders, when they get contacted by the government, can freeze your wallets, can close your wallets, can take your coins. Okay, so it makes no sense. Okay, so when people realize that now the governments and the big institutions are going ahead of us retail, because they never went full into the market, but they will come this cycle, I believe. So once they are ahead of all the retail, we are just a little, let's say, a very, very small part of the money that is circulating. For example, Bitcoin. People think Bitcoin is the greatest asset of all time, but they don't realize that it is as controlled by the government and by the big institution as fiat money is. Because 90% of all the Bitcoin wallets, the biggest Bitcoin wallets, are owned by 2% of Bitcoin holders. So tell me the difference, okay, between the normal system. The only difference there is that gold is the first ETF in the history of mankind which is scarce. So you have scarcity combined with an ETF, okay? And the type of money that will come into this market is something you never saw in your fucking life, okay? So if you are not in this bull market this time, it's done. You are done, okay? I'm here for multiple bull runs, and people for 10 years shit on that sector, shit on us, spit on us, but they don't realize the truth about this world and how they are gonna get wrecked in the next 5 years, okay? All your 401ks, all your investments in the government, all your savings are going to go away, okay? And if you don't see this coming, it's your own fault, okay? For 13 years, if 13 years you are as naive to think you know everything about this world and you don't capitalize on it, your children will. Don't be mad at them, okay? That's what I wanted to say. Because I often get zero credit from nobody. But I called this top 2 times of the bull run. I called the bottom 2 times of the bear market. Nobody is recognizing this. Everyone wants to have their coins, they want to shill and stuff. But they don't understand the structure and the movement of this market and why it is created for. If once you realize that, and there is a lot to realize, but if you realize that, you don't have fear to put money in the market. You just need to understand how fearful you need to be with your fucking fiat currency that is worth nothing, okay? It's worth nothing, and in a few years, it's worth even less, okay? So today, let's say 10 years ago, you made $1 million. It was great money. Today you make $1 million, it's nothing, okay? Why? People don't even realize it. People shit about, oh, the honey is $2 more expensive. Oh, the bread is 2 times more expensive. But bro, it's never going to go down anymore. You need to up your game. You need to find a way to make some shekels. Otherwise, you're gonna just buy a half a bread in 5 years to sustain your family. Realize that, okay? Most of the people always say yes, but the markets are there for people to lose money. Who created the markets? Who created this? It is the rich. Who is using this? It is the rich people that are using it. And the poor people and normal people are telling you what it is. They don't know what it is. The rich use it to multiply their money over a span of 10-20 years, even with the stock market. So now you have the chance of your life and of the life of your children and their children. And if you don't use it because you are in some type of way fearful, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Okay? This is the truth. Okay? We as crypto investors since years, we are suffering. We suffered in this market and we made great returns. And we suffer back again and we made great returns. While all these people that talk and talk and talk don't have a fucking damn dollar in the market. And they will buy Dogecoin at 150, okay? At $1.50. They will all ape into Dogecoin because they don't have any idea what is happening, okay? And this is frustrating me. It's fucking, since 2015, people just don't get it. They just don't get it, okay? And you need to start to grow up. You need to start to risk some money. You need to start to do something. Because making a credit on your shoulders of $1 million to have a small tiny house in Luxembourg, for example. This is what you call success. This is what you call, this is success of a normal person, but you sacrifice your whole life to pay your small house and you have nothing left at the end. So there is some other risk to take to have a great life. Okay, and it's not aping into Bitcoin at 43k, okay? It's aping into Bitcoin at 15k, at 20k, at 17k. I posted it everywhere. I had problems with my family for Christmas last year. And I told them, if you don't buy now, don't talk to me I don't want to hear anything and don't talk with you no more about investments and crypto. If you don't do it now, you are left behind. Yes, but what if we go to 7K? What if we go to 10K? Come on, buckle up. Take your fucking balls in your hand and dollar cost average in a market where you try to understand. And if you don't understand the market, and if you don't understand why it is gaining in value, ask the right questions. The right questions give you the answer you need. If you try to explain to someone that is 5-6 years in this market why it is bullshit, you just don't have any idea of what you are talking about. This is the whole truth, okay? So, now we are at 43K. Do you need to buy now? No, don't buy now. Even if it goes to 60K. Look, if it goes now to 60K and you invest now, you make a 40% gain. Come on, man. A 40% gain. You make 10,000 in the market, you make 4K. 4K to risk what? To risk a down move of 36%. So you basically risk as much for the short term as you risk as you can make in the short term. So it doesn't make sense anymore. Okay? But we didn't have yet an altcoin run. So what does that mean? Altcoins are basically always pumping after like major coins like Bitcoin already pumped. Why? Because the majority of people goes into Bitcoin with big money. And then when Bitcoin did since the bottom, I believe 160, 170%, okay? We are 180%. So you basically tripled your money. You made, let's say you put in 15K, you made 30K, okay? You made 30K in 6 months, okay? So this is a whole year of salary for mundane people. If this is not a reason to say it's worth it to look into it, then it's just okay. Then maybe money is the last thing you are interested in life. It's okay. But if you are interested in changing your life financially, these are the times you want to enter a market, not here, okay? We are just in the first run. Don't get me wrong. It's just frustrating that I see now Twitter blowing up, that I see now all these social media posts when now it's too late, okay? Even if Bitcoin goes to, let's say, unrealistically 600K, okay? Or 400K. If it goes to 400K, you make a 10x, okay? A 10x for this move to happen. Billions and billions, even trillions come into this market and you make what, a 10x? This makes no sense, okay? And you are just overexposing your risk. You don't have a good setup. You basically bought at 1/3 of the bull run, which is great, better than not buying. But yeah, for now, sit on the sidelines, get some cash together, and when this market drops, FOMO in, okay? This is all you can do, because for me, if you buy now, there's a big chance you're gonna get wrecked. We can go just up, but who is gonna know when and how fast it's gonna make it, how many retracements it's gonna do? We are due for a correction now. If we're gonna get the correction, I don't know. If it happens, you are ready to accumulate. This is what you want to, how you want to look at it, okay? So for me, an interesting price to re-enter the market is between 31K and 27K, okay? Once we are at these levels, you need to see if we hold these lows. If we break down, I believe the worst case scenario is 20K, okay? These 10K Bitcoin predictions, I just don't believe in them. I didn't believe it here at the top, and I didn't believe it here at the bottom. That's why I told everyone at 15K to go long. Look, I am not playing. I'm gonna show you the post. I put it on January 13, 15. I don't remember exactly when I did it, but you can see here the 13th of January. Your opinion doesn't matter, fractals do. So what did I mention? I mentioned that every bull run and bear market have basically the same length of days, and the cycle is always the same. So why now would be the cycle some type of different than usually? No, it will not. Okay, so I predicted the bottom here, the 1st January was the bottom. Okay, and then 1/3 we are in the bull run. Okay, so the hyperbolic phase didn't came yet, but I believe there is a big chance before this hyperbolic move is coming that we get some type of retracement. Okay, just be careful about that. So then here I posted it back again. Okay, here was the bottom, the 13th of January. Look what we did. Boom, exactly where we are now, and I had 1,000 followers. Okay, also because of my good friend Matty G, and he gave me access to his community. I thank him for that. But for now, I think we are back and we take over this space, because a lot of people know something about crypto, but they don't understand candlesticks. And if you don't understand candlesticks and base your whole reality around fundamentals, you are not going to make it. So now I spoke my mind. Now we can go again, as always. I think Bitcoin is retracing too, minus 1.3% today. Look, imbalance, perfectly filled, and we get a reaction to the downside. It was actually the last imbalance with the sweep of liquidity here this week, which was very interesting to put the price into to then short it. Okay, so that was really important. And as you see, all these rejections up to here, there was no rejection. The rejection comes now. So it doesn't mean we don't pump further up. Okay, it just means that here is a fair value gap that is now closed. So if here are not a lot of sellers coming into the market, that means that this imbalance was not that great for the sellers, for the bears. Bears are in very high fear right now, because all the moments they thought they could short and it worked down here, they are just fearing the same thing not coming again, because we didn't often had before a halving a move like that in the weekly. So this is unusual territory for Bitcoin. I just don't particularly like this move here, because it doesn't gives us great support areas. This is more like an undecisive, choppy rising flag, which is not something bullish. Okay, how we broke out of that is mainly euphoria, FOMO, and people not knowing what they are doing, basically. And obviously the big guys which are selling right now. Okay, all those leverage positions. Let's see. Never consent. Oh no. They basically give you no choice but to wreck yourself, sell all your data. I hate this. I hate this. Look, 20 pages of things. I can do this now for an hour. It will not stop. Okay, so we are all wrecked. Okay, let's see what is happening here. Liquidation map. This is not what I want to see. Come on, make liquidation. Here it is. So, okay, 36 million long liquidations in which time frame? 1 hour. So the longs got heavily liquidated. You can see it here, okay? 36 billion in longs in the last hour, okay? Just because of the dump we had right now. So 36 million gone. People's houses, everything is gone, okay? 36 million in 1 hour. Oh no, sorry, this is, 1 hour, like 4 hour, 141 million in the last 24 hours, 76 million in the last 12 hours, and even 43 million. So the most liquidations of the last 12 hours came in like 1 hour ago, okay? So this move here liquidated a lot of people. So this basically means that there is a chance that we can go back up, that it just was to liquidate some people, but we need to wait. There's no confirmation yet, so let's see. As long as we don't break these levels here and this trend line, we are all good. But pay attention. And in this case now you can see that the dominance of Bitcoin is making moves in the altcoin market, because Bitcoin basically just now corrected, let's say 2%, 1.7%. It corrected 1.7% and it pushed the market down 5%, 3%, 2%. So because of the high dominance of Bitcoin, the moves are very volatile now. If Bitcoin dumps very hard, the altcoin market is either going into an altcoin season, and we see huge pumps in the altcoin market because people start to get out of Bitcoin and go into cheaper altcoins. So this could bring us into an altcoin season, altcoin pump, okay? But if that doesn't happen, altcoins are going to crash very hard. Very hard for the people that never did it, never experienced that in their lives, okay? So pay attention. It's either Bitcoin is gonna correct, altcoins are going to pump extremely hard, or Bitcoin is coming down and altcoins are coming down even further, okay? There's just only, in my opinion, one play you need to pay attention. This is XRP, because they have all these fundamental things happening. They have been suppressed in the last bull run. All these things coming together, we have a very, very huge potential of them going live now where the lawsuit is over and stuff. So it could happen any moment. We are waiting for this for 5 years. So now a few months, a few weeks, I don't care. But in every chart you have an overall pattern, okay? This pump here was the bull run of 2017. Can we get this type of bull run? We can. Will it happen this time? I don't know. It quite looks like it, okay? So for me, don't be surprised if you see unraging price action in XRP this bull run, okay? Some type of You will see the CEO of Ripple coming out and telling, yes, we did 4,000% in 1 month, and this is because of all these developments we made in the last 10 years, and it will be gone. So prepare yourself, because once it's going to rip, you are not going to be in the train if you are not in now. So that's the problem with all the good cryptos, is that when they rip, they don't wait for you to get your money on the exchanges and to, what will I buy now? Everything is pumping. Okay, so prepare now for later. What's up, guys? I see 4 people in the chat. let me know in what you're interested. Let me know your favorite coins. Do you have some fears? What are you looking forward to in the crypto market for the next 2 weeks? Let's talk about it. Let's get some things together. Let's go. Let me know, people. I do this for you, and I want you to have, let's say, to be more harmonized with your emotions, because you have a particular idea of where price action could go and how you can project your setup and to prepare yourself for both scenarios, how to capitalize on the long run even if the market drops. Okay, so if you have something you want to know, just write it in the chat and we go over it. Or if you want to know something or to look over gold, over the Nasdaq, over SPX, over currencies, let me know. I can basically, charts are charts, candles are candles, and since 300 years the market is doing the same thing over and over again, and I can make you understand or help you to understand in your own way how to position yourself and when to dollar cost average, when to not buy, when to not sell, and try to basically get inclined into the market and harmonize with the flow. That's all we all try to do. But if you want to know, I'm in since 2015, made money, lost, made money, lost everything. So just because I did one thing not right, and that was selling my tokens when it doesn't feel right, okay? Because your greed is always anticipating a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. What about Quant? What do you think about it? About the project or the chart? Because the chart looks quite nice in my opinion. It's one of the most stable cryptos out there. I mean, it's volatile. There are not a lot of coins. The market cap is pretty low in terms of what it could be. So for me personally, this chart looks very juicy, okay? And you are not too late yet, because yeah, basically we have the whole price and patterns in front of us. So all these price targets, you basically had the chance. Let's say you entered Quant in 2022, let's say the 30th or the 1st September. You are basically at the same price right now. So if you would have waited until now, you would have got a price even at, let's say, 84, 85 cents dollars. The best case scenario would have been here between $50 and $40, but in this price decline it really fell sharp and quick, more than the rest of the market, and then it came back. So here you can see that a lot of big players was interested into buying this cheaper, okay? So they didn't came in the market here. They started to pump it back up, so here they positioned themselves, okay? And then what did we do? We actually just came down 50% of this whole raging manipulation of the big guys positioning themselves in low liquidity. Once we break these highs here, we are gone. We are going to the upside, okay? So, but if you look on the, we were at, let's say, $430 per coin, okay? There are only 14 million tokens, so even less tokens than Bitcoin has, okay? So it's very scarce. Project is intending to do is basically creating liquidity cross chains. Basically, you could transfer Bitcoin and Ethereum through the Quant network for cheap and fast transactions. Yeah, this basically cross-chain bridge, a cross-chain blockchain that gives liquidity and multiple purposes to other chains that are not running that well as, for example, Ethereum. Okay, I paid yesterday a $80 Ethereum fee. We are not even in the bull run. Okay. So how do you want to operate a whole financial system on a chain that lets you pay $80 for a transaction? Makes no fucking sense. Okay. So Quant, sorry. So I believe if we manage to break, let's say, this high of 120, we're gonna see back Quant at $160 to $220 if Bitcoin is not crashing and the altcoins are doing the same. I believe to go to 150, 160, it's going to go very quick. So you should be happy being in right now. Choppy moves are something you need to handle in this market. Otherwise, SPX or 401ks is better if you want security. But here, if you want mad money, it is in this one. This is one of the tokens I would hold for the next 5-10 years. Let's say if I would choose something to hold for the long term, it would be this one. It's not the only one. There are maybe 5, 6, 7 coins I would hold for the long run. This is one of them. So yeah, for price targets, let's say really conservative without trying to find an exact price, I believe if we break this high here, we are due for a run. Okay, if we break this low, we will come to the prices I told you before. So that's what I see for Quant. On the long run, over the whole bull run, 4,000, yes, it's not impossible, okay? So other coins, from their launch to their bear market bottom, you can also take this one. I just need to, let's say, first we're gonna do it like that. Yeah, so between, let's say, 1,000, 1,800 is easy to achieve because there are really not a lot of coins. And once the momentum and the FOMO kicks in, these prices are going to skyrocket just because people don't realize that we don't buy market caps but order flow. And if order books are not filled with orders, there is no liquidity. If there is no liquidity, the price moves very fast, okay? So don't always focus on market cap. Focus also on how many is there circulating. Is the price against what is circulating cheap or expensive? If it's cheap and it gives you an entry opportunity in, let's say, the first third of the bull run, just go for it. You could. What is the worst thing? Don't overexpose yourself in the investment, and you're gonna win if you take some profits when it goes up. It's as easy as that. Every one of people that invest in crypto are trying to take the biggest move, make the biggest gains, and try to get rich with a few thousand to make money on. It's really a big system behind it, which makes it very interesting. Okay. More also like HBAR, XDC, XRP. These are all like the coins which will be used for the system. No matter what you think about how good or bad it is, this is what will happen. And I don't want to be in Dogecoin when this happens, and I don't want to be in Shiba Inu and Pepe Coin when this happens. Majority missed Pepe bull run that happened during the bear market. If you didn't position yourself back then, yes, you can speculate now on a huge pump. If you're gonna get it, is something different. And I always say the first rule of investing is not losing money, okay? And degen plays will make you lose money. There is just a very, very small percentage of people that manage to take profits in degen coins. I can tell you from things that I invested $250 in a coin I made 25,000 euro in 2 weeks and I sold it for 2k. Okay, so boom, instantly 2 days got back down. I was like, oh, I'm waiting for 1 more day, it's gonna go back up. Boom, everything gone. Okay, so pay attention to that. Try to understand the market, try to place yourself in things that have longevity, that have product market fit, that have a community, that have brains, that have substance behind it. Okay, don't just degen into coins because it's a new chain and then the chain has a narrative. Of course you can make some money, but be cautious with that. Okay, even me, I am cautious with that. I know people that made extremely big money with those things, but eventually in the beer market they lost everything. So you really need to place yourself for the long run. Okay, and if you really want to make degen plays, make yourself a wallet where you put 10%, 5 to 10% of your money into that wallet. And when you get FOMO, let's say when you say, I really want to do this, I don't care and I just want to degen, take this 5 to 10% portfolio and do whatever you want with it. Lose it, everything, all good. You're gonna make 10, 20x on the big coins, okay? But don't try to take your big money and make degen plays because most of you are gonna lose, okay? That's all I'm saying. So, I see 5 people in the chat, I see 5 people in the stream. Guys, if you have something, I know it's a long time, I have not been here, a very long time even, but I called the top on the YouTube channel, and I don't come live every day during a beer market telling you the next big red candle is coming. I mean, you have the cycles, you have everything, the whole evidence, everything is out there. But why I am back now is because I have different projects that I want to build, which includes like making content, helping people, giving people that what I learned from myself to them for free. And the bull run is almost back on, or is back on. We may be going to see a correction, but I am very excited for the next 365 days, and let's see how much money we can make all together. Because when I was, let's say 2 years ago when I had the channel, we had like 2,000-3,000 people live with us on the channel, and it was an amazing time. I got for now, I will check the charts for myself, for my intraday trading, and then let's say if you're really interested being on the sidelines live with me when I'm taking my trades, let me know in the chart, in the comments, and then for the next days or weeks we're gonna see if there is a possibility to bring you with us on the journey of passing funding accounts and stuff, and getting funded by companies and getting full-time into day trading. And yes, that's all. I wish you all a good start of the day, and I'm happy to